Happy New Year! What's the meaning of necromancy, pyromancy, or fancy-pantsy-mancy? Well, language is strange, so for whatever reason, these words have taken on meanings of manipulation. The necromancer wields power through his command of the dead. If this power was mine, I would certainly command Fermat to show me that proof that didn't fit in the margins. The pyromancer burns his foes, holding flame like paint in an artist's hands. And the fancy-pantsy-mancer manipulates reality to create fanciness where drabness once dwelled. But the suffix mancy doesn't mean to control or manipulate like modern usage suggests. Mancy, from the Greek manteia, means divination or oracle. A pyromancer, then, should be one who uses fire as a source of divination, one who sees the future or other unknown things within the flames. Just as a fancy-pantsy-mancer is one who sees his life before him in the shine of a polished shoe. And you've probably tried things like this, attempting to see the questions on your upcoming math test in the knot of a tie, or trying to find your future wife in the corpse of a tarantula. But I never had any luck with all that. I'm more of a numbers guy, which means arithmancy is more up my alley, and maybe it could help us determine how our new year, 2026, is going to go. Arithmancy is the practice of seeing mystical connections between numbers and events, words and names. Arithmancers will commonly convert numbers into words, or vice versa, to divine some hidden meaning from them. For example, if we assign numbers to letters like this, the new year, 2026, becomes C-A-C-G, which spells the word kach. Or maybe we're supposed to see music in this. C-A-C-G? That's a nice chord. Maybe that means it'll be a nice year. Alternatively, 20 would be the letter U, and 26 would be, I guess, the period? So, U dot. That could mean something, right? What if we think in the other direction, going from words to numbers? In that case, the word Dina has a value of 20, and the word fear has a value of 26. 2026? Dina fear? Whew. Yeah, I have that. But setting aside the ridiculousness of numerology, you don't have to be a woo-woo crystal number person to see some cool things about 2026. Because indeed, it is a strange number. And today, I want to share with you just a few odd things about this number that has recently entered all of our lives. Or is it we that have entered it? First, as you can see, 2026 is an even number, which means it isn't prime, but it's still a special boy. People think being 1 in a million is a big deal. Well, how about being 0.193 in a million? That's what 2026 is, because it's one of only 193 numbers, less than a billion, that are prime productive. It's prime productive because we can use its 4 digits, a little bit of multiplication, and plussing 1 to produce 4 different primes. Check it out. 2026 plus 1, that's 2027, which is prime. What about 2 times 26 plus 1? That's 53, which is, again, prime. What about 20 times 26 plus 1? That's 521, which is, again, prime. And finally, 202 times 6 plus 1, that's 1,213, which is prime. It may be a shame that 2026 isn't prime, but at least it's semi-prime, which means it's almost a prime number. A prime number has exactly one pair of factors. A semi-prime, like 2026, has exactly 2 pairs of factors. Do you know what they are? They're pretty easy to find. The 2 pairs are 1 times 2026 and 2 times 1013. So this here is its prime factorization. Keeping on the prime topic, in the great year of 2024, the largest prime number known to man was found. Like most big fat primes, this one is in the form 2 to a power -1. Prime numbers like this are called Mersenne primes. Or, if a number like this isn't prime, it would be called a Mersenne number. Mersenne numbers are one famous type of Cunningham number. The Cunningham numbers, named after British Indian mathematician Alan Cunningham, are numbers of this form, where b and n are integers and b isn't a perfect power. 2026 is an example of a Cunningham number because it equals 45 squared plus 1. And that shouldn't be too surprising, since you may recall last year was a perfect square year, the last that most of us will ever be lucky enough to see. 2026 isn't a palindrome, meaning it's not the same forwards and backwards. But if we reverse it and add the reverse number to the original, we get 8228, which is a palindrome. This is truly the race car of Cunningham semi-primes. We can also multiply its non-zero digits together and subtract that from 2026 to get another palindrome. Ain't that something? And if we subtract the digit sum, we get a triangular number. Yes, that means if we have a row of 1 dots, and then 2 dots, and then 3 dots, and so on all the way to 63 dots, then we will have 2016 dots total, making a gargantuan triangle. Here's something really boring about 2026. It's a polite number because it can be written as a sum of consecutive integers. If you fancy yourself a little bit of a bad boy, you might say, I prefer my numbers evil and cool like 666. But guess what, my low quality lad? 666 is polite also. So is 67, so is 69, so is 420. In fact, every positive integer is polite except for the powers of 2. 2026 also marks 100 years since 1926, the year in which mathematician Hilary Putnam was born. Is that the Putnam after whom the Putnam Mathematical Competition is named? No, in fact, the full name of the competition is the William Lowell Putnam Math Competition. William Lowell Putnam was born a bit earlier, on October 25th, 1924. He was a climber and an author. One of his books is this fairly well-known account of the 1939 K2 tragedy. Now, why was this math competition named after a climber? It wasn't. It was named after a lawyer and banker, grandfather of the aforementioned climber, William Lowell Putnam. He was born November 22nd, 1861, and it's after him who his wife Elizabeth named the competition. And if you've never heard of this competition, check it out. The problems are super hard. It's a great way to spend your January 1st. Anyways, here's another good sign of pleasant things to come this year. 2026 is a be happy number, with b equal to 10, the base of our decimal system. This is because if we add the squares of the digits in base 10 iteratively, we eventually reach 1. An unhappy number, like 4, is eventually stuck in an endless loop, never getting down to 1. A less pleasant sign is that 2026 is a wasteful number, because it has 4 digits, which is less than the number of digits in its prime factorization. The opposites are economical numbers, like 243, which has more digits than its prime factorization does. Many of these properties are made slightly less interesting by the fact that they are base dependent. That is, they aren't facts inherent to the number 2026, but only facts about this particular representation of the number in our beloved base 10. If we write 2026 in base 2, the binary system, we get 111111101010. The sum of the bits, the binary digits in this case, is 8. And since the sum of bits is an even number, 2026 is what we call an evil number. Wow, it's both evil and polite. Math really doesn't make any sense at all. The product of 20 with 26 is what? That's right, 520. And that can come in handy when you're squaring two-digit numbers. If someone asks us to square 51, how do we do it in our heads quickly? Well, all you have to do is round this to the nearest multiple of 10. In this case, that means we round it down 1 to 50, but then also bump it up by that same amount. So bump it up by 1 to 52. Since we went down 1 and up 1, the last thing we have to do is add the square of that difference. So 1 squared. Now, instead of 51 times 51, we get to deal with a multiple of 10 and simple addition. It's pretty easy to calculate. 50 times 52 is 2,600, and then just add the 1, so 2,601. That's 51 squared. Now, what if someone asked us to do 23 squared? Well, then we'd round to the nearest multiple of 10, so down 3 to 20, but then also bump it up 3 to 26. The difference was 3, so we add 3 squared. And hopefully you won't spend more than a few hours in the year 2026 without knowing the product 20 and 26. It's 520, add the 3 squared, so 529. If we draw a circle with a radius of 2,026 kilometers, its area is just a bit smaller than Antarctica. This diagram isn't actual size, by the way. In truth, Antarctica is even bigger than the palm of my hand. That's it. 2026 is not quite as interesting as I'd hoped, but I hope you found something here to make you say, huh. Bum 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 ba da da ba da da bum 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 bum. Okay, here's the new outro song.
Riverside Drive held me up when the first man I loved died. When I could only say I love you through sobs and say I'll miss you. Last time I was in talking shells out of the shotguns. Someone with a much bigger heart.